Okay, so it seems that Doki Bird recently has been talking about a little bit of kind of, I guess, of a situation or a kind of experience that she's had over on Marvel Rivals, which we've talked about kind of similar stuff recently, right? And if you guys don't know, we talked about her collaboration with a big Marvel Rivals streamer now, being Kingsman, who was involved in the big Kingsman Marvel Rivals drama, where, you know, he had a ton of kind of people like Cecee and Zaza and people like that, who were essentially not switching and not really helping out within the tournament and kind of listening to some of his advice to hopefully win the tournament when they just wanted to play for vibes and just casually, which I think is stupid for such a large tournament for such a large amount of money as well. But essentially, you know, since then, Kingsman has been getting a lot of support from Marvel Rivals creators, including Doki Bird, who, yeah, as you can see, she has actually been collabing with him, or at least had a couple of games with him, which has been really, really great to see. Now, obviously, one of the big kind of topics that gets brought up within the Kingsman drama is stuff like sexism. Some people tried to claim that, you know, obviously it's sexism, that, you know, what Kingsman was trying to do, which again, obviously is not the case at all. You know, that's the kind of, I guess, response from the what do you call it, like the alternative side, the people defending Cecee and stuff, the few people that are defending them, by the way. There isn't very many, but obviously there is a big case of people saying, oh, you know, it's sexist, blah, 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 whatever. It's not, you know, let's be real. But I do think, you know, it is good whenever people do speak out about their own experiences of sexism and stuff that is actually real and that actually takes place, rather than getting annoyed at some guy for at least trying to help out and trying to win a tournament, right? And that is what Doki Bird has actually been talking about recently over on her stream, with a clip coming from Soda Funk, so definitely go and follow them. This is the clip where, yeah, essentially she talks about her experience with a sexist player and, yeah, apparently started roasting them, which I think is quite funny. So, yeah, let's take a look and we'll talk about it.
It was pretty bad. The DPS started fucking flaming me and the other support. And then the other deep support was a duo with the other DPS player. And whoever they were was chat banned. Oh, I wonder why they were chat banned. I've been playing this game since launch, never been chat banned. Why the fuck were you chat banned? Anyway, so his duo was talking.
Already a bad sign, you know. Like whenever someone's chat banned, it's so hard to get chat banned. You could say like something pretty terrible and you still wouldn't get chat banned, but yeah, I mean, that's crazy.
For him. And then the other support shifted the blame onto me. And then was like, I don't know about Doki Bird though. And then I was like, the fuck? Why are you shifting the blame on me? Like, I thought we end this together. Support for life. I was like, bro, what the fuck? I thought we end this together. Also, to that one guy, I saw you're trying to make a career out of Rivals. You ain't making it, kid. With your heart stuck down here and your peak is lower than mine, I play this game as a fucking hobby. And if you were trying to LFT and trying to fucking make it as a pro and your peak is lower than mine, and not even at 100 eternity, by the way, that's sad, bro. You had so many seasons to get to eternity, at least 100. Since like by the beginning of the season, easy as shit. Can't even get it, and you're trying to be pro? Like, bro, I'm sorry, buddy. It ain't the team's fault. It might be you. I'm sorry, buddy. It ain't the team. It ain't your supports. It might be you. And your fucking poor ass attitude, by the way. Oh, and your fucking sexism too, as well. Forgot to mention your fucking sexism. I wonder if, you know, maybe change that attitude of yours. Sorry, I'm unhinged right now. I've never been like this angry before because I was literally like, they were just hard. Like, just because, like, I think it's because of the Kingsman drama. So it gave them an excuse because I used my mic because I wanted them to stop because it was so bad. It was so fucking bad.
Yeah, and I think that is actually a very good point that, you know, Doki Bird has brought up there, is the fact that the Kingsman drama is definitely set back, I guess, female gamers for, you know, quite a bit, right? Because, you know, especially in the Marvel Rivals space, because people have seen the stuff that's going on with Cecee and Zaza, and of course, some people are going to somehow equate this to all women, which is not the case, right? Obviously, Doki Bird is a great player. She knows what she's doing. And yeah, all of that kind of stuff. But again, there is going to be this increased I guess, yeah, sexism that goes on within the game because of the Kingsman stuff. People are going to think that they know more just because they're a man or a dude or whatever. And that is not the case, right? It's not always the case. Now, obviously, in the case of Kingsman, you know, yeah, he was right. He was totally the one that knew more and knew what he was doing and wanted to play the game to a competitive level rather than playing at a casual level, right? But obviously now it's going to spur a lot of people in casual games and things to be going after women within the games, which obviously, yeah, isn't very good. Now, I'm not blaming Kingsman. It's not, you know, their fault that this has happened. It's just like a kind of, I guess, you know, a reaction to what has happened from them kind of observing it. But yeah, obviously it will become a bigger problem, right? Especially within Marvel Rivals, considering that the whole thing happened on this game.
And I used my mic to be like, stop, like I solo queued here, like I'm not duoed with anyone, because the guy that started the whole bandwagon on me, him got 2 other guys to non-stop shit talk me in that game. And I was like, I wish I was live right now. It was like so fucked up. And then they're like, oh, are you? And then when I tried to defend myself, I was like, stop. I don't think you know who we are talking to. Because I was like, please look me up. I stream my solo queue stuff. And then they're like, they made fun of my voice. They made fun of that I was a female player. And they're like, oh, you're just trying to play the victim right now. Or are you doing victim mentality at the moment? And I was like, bro, you guys started it. Because the first thing they said to me was, whoever boosted Doki Bird to this rank, wow, I hope that guy is paying you double. I didn't say nothing, by the way. They said that. Second thing was like, this is, oh man, wow, this is your first time here? I'm sorry. Wow, I'm so threatened. This is your first time in this ELO solo queuing up here? And then I just used mic and I was like, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm solo right now. And then like they started making fun of my voice, and then they were like, Kingsman's just going hard right now because we have a female player and she doesn't know what she's doing. And like it was just like, it was so much like actual children. Yeah, and that's what like I hate about this whole situation with this drama. They ignore the bigger picture of what the drama really is, and they use it as an excuse to make fun of other female players. And it didn't help that I was actually, the enemy team was Kingsman, and they used that excuse to rag on other female players because it has happened in other games as well. It makes them feel justified in blaming female players, even though I didn't say anything at first. I was trying to ignore them. And then the other support player like threw the target onto me, and then 3 other guys started ganging up on me. And then when I used my mic, they were just laughing at me. And then I straight up was like, just look me up. Like, because they were saying I got boosted up here, even though I literally streamed all the climb here in the...
So yeah, obviously she's talking a little bit of an extension about what I was talking about, in the fact that, hey, this Kingsman drama has, yeah, has kind of caused a lot of, you know, backlash towards women within Marvel Rivals. And now you have these kind of groups of men that are kind of ganging up on them as soon as they decide to speak within the game, right? As soon as people find out any inkling that they are a woman, and people, you know, are unhappy with that. Now, obviously, of course, you know, the Kingsman drama was terrible, right? And everything that has gone on with it. But of course, it doesn't mean that all, you know, female gamers are necessarily going to be exactly the same, right? Sure, there's probably a couple still out there, but there's not many, right? And I feel like Cecee and Zaza and all the people involved in that kind of drama, right, were, yeah, obviously a few out of a very, very large amount of players, right, that are fine, right? They're like the kind of, I guess, the 1% of them, right? You know, the 99% of all female gamers are nice, or, you know, they at least play good or whatever, they know what they're doing, especially Doki Bird, right? Because Doki Bird's trying to, you know, hammer home the point that, hey, you know, I've solo queued all the way to here, which again, if you don't know, within Marvel Rivals and any kind of game similar, right, that's quite an achievement to solo queue it, because you can, you know, if you think about kind of, I guess, going on to a competitive game and going into it solo, you kind of got a random pick of exactly who you're playing with. So it can be quite a frustrating time because, again, you know, it's pretty much decided up to a random fate whether you do start to rank up and stuff. Now, of course, you can carry the game, sure, and that is how, you know, people like Dokibird and stuff manage to get up solo, right? Is that you manage to carry, or you get really lucky too. That is also another case, but I think Dokibird is just a good player, let's be real. But again, obviously, that is such an achievement because, yeah, you do have a random pick, and it's much harder than maybe teaming up with your friends who are also as good as you, and or maybe even better, right? And then you can kind of climb up the ranks, right? But again, that is not the case. She's been solo. She's kind of like tried to express that. But of course, you know, with all of the kind of Kingsman stuff that's been going on, apparently they even mentioned him. It just seems like, you know, anytime that she speaks and that they find out that she is a woman, of course, they're then going to go and attack her, which is very, very disappointing to see. And of course, you know, it's good that Dokibird has spoken out about this because it will become a bigger issue within Rivals. And I think, you know, it honestly might have dropped the female player base in Rivals quite a bit because people don't want to experience the kind of you know, experience that Dokibird has gone through, because obviously we know that Dokibird's quite, you know, strong-headed, right? She doesn't really care about that stuff too much. Obviously, you know, she's getting pretty angry, but, you know, it's not going to make her like quit or anything. But obviously there's some people that just can't take that you know, criticism, can't take that hatred towards them, and, you know, that's fair enough, right? And they will just leave the game. So of course, people, you know, might be dropping out of playing Marvel Rivals after this situation, you know, in similar experiences to Dokibird. And, you know, with games like Overwatch 2 obviously having their big update and things like that as well, people might be going over there too. So again, obviously it seems like there's going to be a pretty big shakeup in terms of that kind of stuff, but it is very disappointing to see that it's gone forwards. And obviously we know, as I said, Dokibird has played with Kingsman on stream before, so again, you know, they are chill. It's not like it's Kingsman's fault or anything. It is just the kind of, I guess, aftermath of the entire situation and what people have been kind of, I guess, weaponizing whenever it comes to the whole drama and everything that's been going on. But yeah, I mean, that is essentially all there is for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameSubs, use my code CASA, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.